crazy news just breaking in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks just got the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. I repeat, the Dallas Mavericks just got the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft.
The second pick will be made by the San Antonio Spurs, and that means that the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
This comes, I don't want to even say a surprise. I am shocked that this is how it all transpired for Dallas, because as we know, if you're a ball fan in any capacity or just a sports fan in any capacity, you know one thing. The Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic, the Los Angeles Lakers, for Anthony Davis in return. And Nico Harrison, the general manager for the Dallas Mavericks, had the whole fan base and even NBA fans across the world just turn against him. Shout out Nico Harrison. He went to University of Montana State. Go Grizz, though. Still go Grizz, but you got to give a nod to Montana. You know, always Montana connections. But this comes as a complete shock to me, because through all that, trading Luka in February, I believe it was February, trading Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis to the Los Angeles Lakers. For one, why would you trade Luka Doncic for an older player, right? 2, why would you even want to trade Luka Doncic, right? Why would you even ever want to do that? It's Luka Doncic. He can score, he can facilitate, he can rebound, but the big question mark around Luka, as we all know, what is it? His conditioning, his defense, and as some say, his off-the-court habits. Do I know if any of that's true? I have no idea. I have no clue. All I know is Luka's that guy. Luka's that guy. And when that trade went down, it's a shock, because it's like, you don't trade LeBron. You don't trade Kobe. You know, you don't trade players like that. Luka is that kind of franchise player. Well, was for the Dallas Mavericks. But they got Anthony Davis. So I don't appreciate it when Mavs fans acting like Anthony Davis is a bum. Okay, Nico has his vision. Agree with it or not, his vision is defense wins championships. And Luka has been exposed, especially these last couple of years, for his lack of defense, his lack of defensive effort, and his lack of, maybe being conditioned enough to play, good defense in crunch time. Brian Windhorst in the finals last year, if y'all remember, just ripped into Luka, and I wouldn't even say he was being mean. He just kind of said it how it was. But the Celtics exposed Luka. They went at Luka, and there was clips, and I hate that. I hate this part of it too. But there's always clips. So when I say with clips, there always needs to be context. But when you watch it in the game and in even multiple games, Luka does slack on defense. Does he expend a lot of his energy on the offensive end? Absolutely. He always has the ball in his hand. And if you know anything about anything, the more you have the ball in your hand and the more things facilitating around you, that means a little less effort on the defensive end, or a little less of the gas tank being expended on that defensive end of the ball. But so they bring in Anthony Davis. The Mavs bring in Anthony Davis. Okay, whatever. I'm not a Mavs fan, so for me it's like, whatever. Let's just see how this works out. Let's see how Luka in LA works out. As we can see, they just got bounced in the playoffs by the Timberwolves. Let's see how it plays out. First game back for Anthony Davis from an adductor strain. He gets hurt, and he's out for the next month and a half, 2 months. And it's like, oh my God, we just traded Luka Doncic, who was hurt at the time with the calf injury. We just traded him for Anthony Davis, and what was our big concern? Anthony Davis's health. But guess what? Oh, he's hurt. Anthony Davis is hurt. Way to go, Nico. Way to go, Nico. The people were protesting. They were doing all these things, not wanting to come to games. Everywhere he went, they were screaming, "Fire Nico!" People getting kicked out of the arena, for saying those things. But the whole crowd's chanting it. It's craziness. It was crazy, because I've never in my lifetime, I guess, have seen a trade like that, where it's like in the NFL if the Cincinnati Bengals went and traded Joe Burrow, and in return they got let's think here. Maybe a Tua or someone like that. A little more injury prone, still a good football player, but why would you trade Joe Burrow? That's your franchise player. That's your franchise quarterback. The same thing with Dallas. It's like, whatever. But, it came out, Nico was saying, not Nico, but reports were saying the Dallas Mavericks front office didn't like Luka's off-the-court habits, whatnot, and the other. Smoking too much hookah, drinking too much beer, American food got to him, whatever it is. But he's still dropping 40 and 12, 9 rebounds. You know what I mean? Still Luka offensively. He's gonna win you a game. He's gonna take the last shot and hit it. He's gonna do all those things offensively to keep your team in the game, right? And I hate this too because Luka's not the only player in the NBA who doesn't play defense. That's a superstar. But I think Nico and them had enough, especially from that finals experience. Maybe we can't win with this guy. Let's try and sell high. Obviously, you're going to sell really high for Luka Doncic. Let's bring in AD. I think long-term, next 5 years, AD and Dallas, they could definitely do something. But today, about 3 months later, the Dallas Mavericks land the number 1 pick in the draft. Who's at the top of the board to get drafted number 1? People might say Ace Bailey. People might be saying some other people. But you know what? Other players, it's got to be Cooper Flagg. And when you look at the vision of the Mavericks, Kyrie got hurt. So the Mavericks, when they made that Luka trade, it was a downward spiral. Because then it was Kyrie trying to carry the team, and they're still a good team, but they were hurt. Anthony Davis was hurt. Lively was hurt. Gafford was hurt. They were all hurt. And then Kyrie tears his ACL. And at the very end of the season, AD's finally able to come back, and they playing in the play-in tournament. They didn't make it in. It was a terrible scenario for a team that would have still probably made the playoffs with Luka on the roster. They're no longer in the playoffs. They're looking at a sorry offseason for a lot of Mavs fans' standards. But boy, oh boy, did Nico get bailed out today. They got the number 1 pick. And Cooper Flagg's at the top. Cooper Flagg's at the top of the board. He's at the top of the board. This is crazy. This is like when Ant Edwards was coming up, or Cade Cunningham was coming up, or even like a guy like with all the hype like Ben Simmons, who was like, this guy's for sure the number 1 pick. Yes, there's other great college basketball players out there, and other great college basketball players that are going to be in this draft. They're going to have great careers. But you are bonkers if you don't go and get Cooper Flagg number 1. First off, he should be going into his first year of college, but he's foregone his sophomore or junior year of high school, whatever. He went 3 years of high school, and then he went into Duke early. And he got Duke. Where'd they get to? They got to the Final Four. Duke got into the Final Four, played Houston. Cooper Flagg had 27 points, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. On the season, he averaged 19.2 points, 1.4 steals, 1.4 blocks, 4.2 assists, 7.5 rebounds, 84% from the free throw line, 38% from the three-point line, but in the NBA that's extended back a little bit, and 48% field goal percentage in 30 minutes a game. That doesn't fit what Nico Collins wants. I don't know. It does. And did he get bailed out? Yes. He has nothing to do with the lottery. This is not a Nico Collins move. This is just luck of the draw, because that's what the lottery is. Just luck of the draw. I think the Mavs had like a 1.2% chance to get the number 1 pick, or something like that. Some small number. It's all small or whatever. But he gets bailed out, and there is hope for Dallas again. They were still going to be solid. Not next season. They'll be a good team next season. Maybe playoffs, play-in tournament. But when Kyrie comes back, if they keep Kyrie, AD, Gafford, Lively, PJ Washington, and I would expect them to make some moves, especially PJ Washington, especially maybe Gafford. Probably not Derek Lively, but Dallas is going to make. They're in a great position right now to make some moves because now they have big after big after big. They got some bigs to offload, bring in some guards, to help out with Kyrie because they're going to have Kyrie, Lively, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, whoever else you want to put in there. They need a point guard while Kyrie's out, but that's a scary squad. And so now they're like, oh wow, okay, we're taking Coop. We can get PJ out of here. We like PJ, but we got to get him out of here. Same with Daniel Gafford. Same with some of these other guys. Like, they got some wiggle room to go get a solid guard. Maybe even a good guard. Because PJ's a dog. Gafford's a dog. Maybe they do trade Lively. I don't know. He's a dog. Right? But they got big after big after big. So I think this opens up a whole avenue for the Mavericks to make a move. And so I was talking to my boy Jarius, and I said, F you. He's a Mavs fan. I'm a Suns fan. He likes to remind me that they beat us in 7 and Luka went stupid and they embarrassed us. And I did get a kick out of it, just the sadness he had of the Luka trade. And I get that. It's like the Suns trading Devin Booker. Why would you trade that guy? But now they get the number 1 pick. And so what does this do for the Mavs? You guys got to let me know. What do you think about how this impacts the Dallas Mavericks? How this impacts, the NBA in general? And was the suffering, as my friend said, he said the suffering, was it worth it? So let me ask you guys this. Was the suffering worth it if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan? Yes, you got rid of Luka, but you still got AD. And boy, oh boy, you just got the number 1 pick. Is that worth it? Is Luka worth it? I think it's worth it. Because guess what? Cooper Flagg's younger than Luka. Luka's what, 25, 26? Cooper Flagg, you got an extra 7 years right there. Age difference. Cooper Flagg's 19, maybe. He's 19. He might be 18 still. So I think this just opens up a lot of doors for them. And it's just crazy. The NBA draft lottery, man. Some people hate it. I hate it some years. The Suns definitely got screwed for a decade in the lottery, but that's okay. Whatever. We're on the different things right now. But wow, was it worth it? Was it worth it? And did Nico Collins get bailed out? You guys let me know. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're on Facebook, hit the like, comment, maybe share it. Let me know what you guys think. Mavs just got the number 1 pick. This is insane. Can't believe it. You guys have a good night. I'm going to go catch this Knicks versus Celtics game. Peace.